Mm. Shut up, phone. Damn it. God darn it. I knew this would happen to me. I think that should work. All right. I have one in my ear just so I can hear things. Just living life. Game freak style. Got the girls going wild, going wild, going wild. Shut up, phone. What was that, level 5? Back in the building. Back in the building. What the hell? Oh, no, 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 no. No. I'm faded. I'm faded. In order to maintain the visibility of the mic, I have to be in its vicinity. If I move it too far to the left, it fades from existence. No, the mic is gone. No, we must bring it back. I've re-summoned you, my prince. You're safe now. But if you stray from me again, I will send you to the void. It's fighting. It's fighting hard to maintain its all. It's gone. Come back, my child. I shall protect you. I shall nurture you. I shall shield you from all manners of harm and pain. But if you stray from me, if you go away from my gift, I can no longer protect you. Don't make me do it. I will fade you away into oblivion. Goodbye, Mike. Goodbye. It's fighting. It's fighting, y'all. It's fighting. Yeah, trying to hide the chair is just a lot, bro. But we do not give up. We just let the mic sit here. And me and the mic hang out. It's good chill music. I like this. It's a vibe of sorts. Allows one to live their life honestly, heartily, and without any drama or stress. They just fight and strive for the greatness they know they can achieve. Life is full of hardship, and I hate to say it may not ever get better, but we don't quit. We don't stop fighting. We keep fighting. I feel like I'm talking in limericks. I probably am. I need to cut that out, bro. Let's see. When you start talking to yourself in the middle of the night, people think you're crazy. Although I don't really know if crazy is really the word I would use to define it. It's more of like a variation of insane, actually. You've kind of just lost your mind in a different capacity. Not necessarily saying it's the best thing in the world, just saying it's a thing that's happened. Guys, you can save on your PlayStation consoles. It's a huge deal. $50 off. Where's the Pro at? Is the Pro here? No, yeah, the Pro. Oh no, never mind. It's the Pro's on. The Pro's on sale for $50 off. No way. No way. Never. Let's see if Gamatsu has anything. Sometimes you gotta get tired of talking about gaming all the time, but that's what people want to do. Dragon Quest Remake adds Switch 2 version, launches October 30th. The demo for Stellar Blade is now available. Devolver Digital and Kenny Sun announced Ball Pit. Elden Ring Night Rain shipments and digital sales topped 2 million in one day. Death Stranding 2 game premiere set for June 8th. Wuthering Waves, Among Ashes, Tamagotchi Plaza, Fantasy Life, Trinity Trigger, Bravely Default. Did they add new jobs at least for this? Because that'd be a little more interesting. Let's see. Just looking to see what is. Oh, is that just the differences? Oh, the English and Japanese versions. Got it. It doesn't really look that different. I mean, it's a 3DS game, and it isn't like it's a remake. It's just the same game over and over again. Granted, the game looked good to begin with, so I'm not gonna sit here and trip too much on it. But yeah, most of these games look good anyway. This isn't the game I wanted them to add. Honestly, Bravely Second would probably be the one I'd be more likely to get, which would then unfortunately make me retroactively get Bravely Default. Yeah, they just added, I don't know if I care about they added like a karaoke mode? What is this? I'm be real, it's not like I feel like I needed this. It's just I'm just like, okay. I love the Pirate Jock class. This shit was great. The Ninja class was fucking broken. Yeah, they added mini games to flying around and missions. Although these weren't really the things that were bothering me about. Are these new weapons you can get? Yeah, essentially they got prizes. See, the village areas thing is still the same from the 3DS, which is interesting. Oh, the village restoration. That's what's there. I'm just kind of skimming this since you guys are. I'm waiting for people to show up. And right now, I just feel like I'm talking to myself. Other that or the whatchamacallit is gonna hoe me. Yeah, the bonus move thing. This is talking about the same thing that's been there. I wonder if they'll de-censor the outfits for certain classes. And certain classes got hoed. They were less scandalous for the girls because, of course, they were. We're living life in our best ways. This is a very chill Friday where we're just kind of shooting the shit and chilling out. There's not really a lot to talk about in terms of like news and whatnot. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. As much as I hate to acknowledge it, I'm about to get bombarded with a bunch of Switch conversation and topics, even more so than now. The main videos that keep popping up on my fucking feed is, oh, I'm not getting the Switch 2 at launch. I'm not getting the Switch 2 at launch. And I know why. It's a gaming topic. It's a new console. And regardless if it's positive or negative, it'll get some sort of like traction. It's part of the thing about being like a full-time YouTuber that I always think is just kind of trash. This like sad reality that like you have to play this annoying fucking game of chicken with every news related topic. So if you're a gaming news tuber, regardless if it's a console you care about, if you want to make money and want to be relevant in the scene, you know what you do? You put out a bunch of videos and content on something. There's a dude on here, I think he's Arlo's like editor. What's up, Donnie? I think Arlo's editor, what's his name? Nintendine, who literally feels like I'm just watching clickbait on a daily basis. And because I watch one of the videos and now it's stuck in an algorithm that shows up on my homepage no matter what. bro. At a certain, that's probably the reason why. Like, I think I'm gonna get burnt out with Nintendo Switch 2 quicker because I'm constantly either surrounded by conversations about it, I'm talking about it, or I'm around people who are also talking about it. Kind of doesn't even make me want to do like podcast on it. Because it's just like, bro, I just want to play the console and chill out. I don't really feel like having a conversation about the console. And considering some of the recent stuff with pre-orders, I don't even know. I won't even have it. Just to give some context. So I have a pre-order through Target. That's where I got my pre-order. And I haven't seen anything about my pre-order getting canceled as of currently, right? With that being stated, though, GameStop has already said, oh, we're doing midnight releases. And the one near me is like, hey, guys, we are having a midnight release. And I already called them today. They were like, yeah, we'll have extra consoles. And I'm like, damn it. So my two options are either wait for Target, which is going to make me wait. I already know Target's going to make me wait. If I'm actually signing into my Target account now just to see. But the last time I checked, which was like earlier today, it was like expected on like June the 11th. So I wouldn't even have it. What is this? This is not what I wanted. I'm trying to log into Target. Ma'am, what the hell? Sign in. Enter your email or phone number to continue. Why do y'all have to do this way? Let me see something. Okay, I don't understand what the hell happened there. That was weird. All right, anyways, let me look at my purchase history. Feels like the NX days, I got so bummed out by all the clickbait. Yeah, that's literally it. So yeah, right now it tells me estimated delivery date is June 11th, which unfortunately, even though the thing comes out next Thursday, I wouldn't even physically have it in my hands until pretty much a week from when it comes out. And as we both know, Donnie, and as everyone else knows, as soon as that pretty much probably midnight, if not the day of, there's going to be so much information and videos and streams and commentaries. And as a person who's just trying to enjoy content, it very much will burn you out. But it's also the best time to make money. Part of like the inspiration of talking about this stuff is literally the ability to make money. At least online. I mean, obviously there is some genuine conversation to be had. Don't get it twisted. I think people generally want to talk and have a conversation. Hopefully the music isn't too distracting, by the way, guys. Let me know if the music is too distracting. But there is a genuine interest from some people just to have conversations about the console. Then you have everybody making news videos on every little thing that may or may not be true. And then on top of that, you have a bunch of people telling you why either the console's trash, you should boycott it, or why they're not getting it personally themselves. These are technically videos that everyone should and be allowed to make. But when it's all in the same whirlwind of the gaming sphere, you kind of get burnt out, especially the older you are. Do y'all not hear background music? Oh, do you not hear background music? That's kind of crazy. Oh, it's not even, what? Where's the audio coming from then if it's not coming from that? That's why nothing was said. That makes perfect sense now. I love it when the audio changes. Hold on, let me see something. I had background music playing this whole time that you guys couldn't hear. That's crazy. Yeah, it changed the microphone again. I hate when this happens. Where is it? You should hear it now. You should probably hear the audio now if you didn't hear it before. But if the audio is distracting, let me know. But I thought it was playing. It's been playing in my ear the whole time, so I thought it was playing for you guys. It's fine. It's at least the mic wasn't bad. I'll say that. So it is what it is. What was we gonna say? But yeah, like when all this stuff is in like the swirl of like gaming news and commentary and whatnot, at a certain point, you kind of look over and you're just like, bro, as a kid, you were indulging in it. It's the same thing with like the console wars back during like the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii, right? People just like the war was like half of the fun. Just this like ridiculous, like back and forth over which console was better and why it was better and who had the better company and who had the better games and who had the better services. Like that was a whole thing. And part of that was the chaos of it all is what made it appealing. It was also highly unprofessional, hence why we call that crumb site YouTube, because you weren't getting no deals and no sponsorships doing stuff like that. People were on some belligerent, ignorant shit during that. But it was entertaining because it was so goofy and ridiculous. Now that everyone's trying to make a bag, because now making money off of YouTube is incredibly viable, it's like, bro, you're getting hit with every piece of content and news all the time. And half of it, is disingenuous because these people are just trying to make some money. And I'm not mad at the individuals trying to make some money. Technically, if we're being real about it, I'm trying to make some money, right? Or I'm trying to get to the ability to make some money again. So I can't really get mad on people for doing it. But I can recognize as a viewer, it's not a fun experience after a while. Like if you're excited for the console, there's a lot of negativity surrounding the Nintendo Switch 2. So with all that negativity, your hype for it can kind of get killed if you're online. If anything, I suggest if you're hyped for the console to not be online as much or to not watch as much news about it, because it will burn you out. If you're someone who was being negative, well, guess what? There's like a whole breeding ground for it. But then negativity breeds ignorance, and ignorance breeds hatred, and hatred breeds saying things that aren't inherently true just to fit with a narrative. I got annoyed when people acted sure the Nintendo Switch 2 was coming, or kept saying they'll wait for the system for certain games last year. Some channels have blown up over the Nintendo Switch 2. That would amazing though. Some channels have blown up over the Nintendo Switch 2. That would have amazing. That would be amazing though. The Switch Pro content for the past live year was some dog shit. Of course it was, because it was a narrative that was being pushed because one, Nintendo fans wanted some new content on a new console or some sort of upgrade, and they were fulfilling a need. But it also meant that if you were someone who liked Nintendo consoles, you got bombarded with that content constantly. You can go look up a Mario or a Zelda or a Pokemon video, and here comes a Nintendo Switch Pro, Nintendo Switch Pro, Nintendo Switch Pro, or Nintendo Switch 2, essentially, which was also just rumor mill stuff. Now, of course, eventually one of these was going to be true, and it happened to be the sequel to the console. But now it's just all over the place. On top of just general gaming news. And then you have people out here trying to rewrite history, saying stupid shit. On top of all that, we're dooming and glooming because of the whole $80 thing, which I always find hypocritical because, of course, you tripped over $80, but you're not tripping over the $70 you start paying. You're not tripping over the DLC and the microtransactions that we've been paying. The game community has consistently been making mistakes. And then they're like, well, let's reward games that are quality. Okay. That's a good sentiment, and I would agree. And for the most part, those games do get rewarded. But you also got to realize that if we really were people who are about not supporting shitty business practices, EA wouldn't still be in business. Hell, in a lot of ways, Ubisoft wouldn't still be in business. But you know why they're still in business? Because people still support them. Because at the end of the day, I hate to say it, gamers' pockets money don't matter nearly as much as we think it does. Do we help and do we contribute to the industry as a whole? Absolutely. But what keeps a lot of these companies afloat are the dumb, ignorant people who come in there and go, I want something for my son or daughter to play. And then that's what they do. They get themselves a Mario Kart. They get themselves an Animal Crossing. They get themselves a Call of Duty. They get themselves a GTA. They get themselves an Assassin's Creed. They get themselves an Elden Ring. They get themselves an Expedition 33. They get themselves something. They don't we in our own community don't matter as much as we say we do. We can have power and we can have control, but we're not changing the entire landscape for the most part. And let's be real here, even when we were doing that, we weren't making the best changes in ways, because let's be real here, we weren't doing that over some joint combined effort to like make the game industry better. We just saw something we liked and we wanted more of it. That's why shooters became the dominant genre, because someone did a shooter really, really well. Everybody liked it. Everybody hopped on it. Everybody enjoyed it. And then it just turned into this whole phenomenon. Halo multiplayer became a lifestyle because people really like Halo. And then we got things like Red versus Blue on the internet for a whole content creation to come forward. And then, you know, that content creation died, which I believe it's being, Rooster Teeth is being revived. That's a whole other thing. This is part of the reason why I think being a full-time content creator is a very like exhausting fucking job, bro. Because you have to stay on the up and up all the fucking time on every little thing. And depending on what kind of content creator you are, and the higher quality of your videos, the more of a standard you have for yourself and for your content, which makes it harder and harder to keep making that content, or it comes out as not as often or as frequently. When I look back at my content started with generic rants and like anime reviews, which was me standing in front of my like dresser talking about a box that I had just bought. Yeah, everybody is a ninja on Xbox from those Halo days, from what I hear. Oh, it was ridiculous. Now, I didn't own an Xbox, so I never got exposed to that side of it, but there are plenty of recorded videos and calls from that era to where you can see how ridiculous people were. People like that, like the gaming community was so connected. We were not at all. We were doing our own thing and enjoying our own stuff, and we bought what we thought was worth the money. Like we're going to do now. We're going to make a stand. We're going to boycott. No, you're not. You're going to, if you feel like you want to pay for the money, you'll spend the money. That's how it is. Selfishness, unfortunately, is at the base level when it comes to things we don't need. And of course, a Nintendo, a PlayStation, an Xbox, a Sega, an Atari, all that is optional. Not required, not necessarily needed, not even necessarily wanted. It's just, hey, I see it in the store and I have the money to burn, or I don't have the money to burn, and I'm just going to spend it. Which is funny because I was talking to my friend about this. And this is going to be a little bit off topic, but it does connect to a degree. When it comes to spending stuff, how many of you guys actually think people spend money? Let me be more specific. When it comes to spending and saving money, how many of you guys think that we just don't make enough money versus how many of you guys think that people don't know how to spend their money correctly? Because for a while, I used to be on that whole, well, you know, if the government would pay us some more money, or we get paid more at our jobs, we'd be better off. And the reality is, I don't think that was ever really, that's not true. It's been a part of that, but I think the other part of it, and a bigger part of it, was we just don't know how to spend our fucking money. You know how many people out here have spent exorbitant amounts of money on things that they just openly don't need, and they know that they don't need, but they want? I have a friend who tells me she's broke, right? Even though she lives in one of the nicest neighborhoods in the city, even though she lives in like a 2-story house, even though her son is able to do multiple extracurriculars that you have to pay for and still live okay. Now, she'll say she's broke, but your son does karate, your son does swimming, your son does basketball, your son does camp. On top of like her and her husband themselves being like, don't looking like bums. They both look like they are respectable people, and they still cook out and eat on a daily basis. I'm like, I don't think you're broke. I think you're broke for what you want to do. I think that's really what it is. Which to me doesn't mean you're technically broke. You're just not content because you feel like you feel like you have to scrape for money. And part of that's just because of mismanagement of your own funds. People nowadays, I think, are so concerned about doing what everyone else is doing, not what they can afford. And as a result, it creates this terrible situation where it creates the illusion of being broke and gets you into this mindset to start blaming people. Females seem to be the main ones spending money on things they don't need. Oh, listen, we all do it. I don't want to pretend like this is a gender specific thing. I think people in general spend money on things they don't need. But some people will blame everybody else for why they can't afford those things. Well, it's the government's fault, or my job doesn't pay enough. And I'm like, if you can pay for the necessities, it pays enough. It just doesn't pay as much as you would want it to pay. Some people just need to be real with themselves and just say, you're just spending too much fucking money and you need to reevaluate how you're handling your funds. And you also need to refocus your funds into things that will come back and give you a net gain or a net positive. But people don't want to do that because it requires a level of responsibility that we don't want to have. I'm gonna be real with you. It's a habit I even have to a degree. When I started making money, it was rough because I was making not enough to support myself. I was in school and doing kind of a mediocre job because, of course, it had to work out with my school hours. Then I got my associate's degree and said, hey, I'm gonna go get a better job. I got a better job. And I had to start paying more money. But part of the reason why I paid more money was because I wanted more for myself. But that means that my grind still felt like a grind. And then in the last few years of me getting the next job that actually made more than what I needed, I got extremely reckless. I'm gonna just be real with you. You stop penny pinching because people just don't want to do it. Not because, and I think that's really what people want. People want to be able to have enough money to spend money and it not be considered like, and they don't have to look at their bank account afterwards. Like some people literally will look at their account every 5 minutes like, damn, I got to spend X amount of dollars because I got to because I don't know if I have enough for gas tomorrow. And that feeling sucks. So what people, when they say they don't have enough money, they have enough. They just don't like the idea that they have to make sure they have enough. What they want to do is be able to pull out a card and be like, bam, and then go about their day, not worrying about how much they spend, which is why people who will get rich start spending money on stupid shit because they stop worrying about their funds. That's why it's easier. Ironically enough, it's easier to fuck up your finances the more money you have. And it's mainly because you create a dissonance between the money and the responsibility you need to have to use it versus what you just want and when you want it and how you want it. The more money you have, the more likely you're going to just go bam, 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 and not think about it. And then when like taxes or debt collectors or your card starts hitting you for it, you're like, oh my God, I spent too much money. And it isn't until that happens. Some people need to also know that there's no such thing as living wage since people are have different living needs. Agreed. So basically you went from making 30K a year to 70K a year. Kinda. I'll say this it's in that range. I'll just say that. I won't outright confirm or deny the specifics because confidentiality and whatnot, but you're not off. I'll just say that you're not off. The point is, though, is that like we just don't do that. We don't want to do that. Like, give an example. One of the struggles I'm thinking about right now, I think I said it earlier, but some of you might not have been in here when I said it, is that the Switch 2 comes out next Thursday. And GameStop is having a midnight release. Well, I couldn't pre-order through GameStop. I got my pre-order through Target, right? Target right now is saying scheduled to arrive on Wednesday, June the 11th. Which, if you know anything, is 6 days after the Switch 2 was supposed to come out, right? And as a result, considering I make YouTube videos and content, if I play the waiting game, then that means that's a week's worth of content where I can't really do anything video or content wise. But GameStop already confirmed to me when I called them that they would have extras to sell if I got there early enough for a midnight release next week. Now this, at the end of the day, is a want. I want to have the Switch 2 on day of release. Don't need to have it on day of release, but I want to have it day of release. This is some petty shit for me as a person. Because I don't need it, I just want it. And right now I'm not making any money anyway, although this would help me get through the threshold of views to probably start making money off of this channel in the content. But that doesn't say it's not like, oh, I remember when I used to not be able to afford games, and that bothered me more. And now I'm over here tripping over whether or not do I want to spend $500 the day of and hopefully hope I can cancel my pre-order for the Switch 2 before it pulls out of my account, which is a whole other thing. And it's a very petty thing. I recognize that. And I think I'm just gonna take the L and wait. Do I want to wait? No, but I think a little humility would do me well. It may not be as helpful if I wanted to like make a bunch of content, but I think at a certain point we all get a little bit too big for our britches and think that we can do all this goofy shit we don't need. And I've done things like that before. I'll give you an example. Fire Emblem Fates, right? Fire Emblem Fates, when that came out, I bought that collector's edition. I bought that 3-pack collector's edition because I really, really wanted it. Now, this in itself isn't a bad thing, but that collector's edition did not come out I couldn't get that day one. I wasn't going to get that until later that next week. So what did I do? I went on the eShop on my 3DS and I bought Birthright by itself. So not only did I spend the money for the game, the special edition, I then also bought Birthright again just so I had something to play over the weekend. That is some rich people ass shit. Could I have just waited until next week to play the game? Absolutely. Did I? No. And it became because I have the money, so fuck you, I'm gonna do it. And that's not intrinsically healthy. I think people, and actually that goes into something I think Donnie's alluding to right now. That's why peeps got to use coupons and some cash back to at least start saving some way. Yeah, but see that the irony is that the whole like saving money through coupons or doing deals and stuff is looked at as poor people shit. And some people's egos don't want to do that. They don't want to do this saving money through any mean shit. Like, I'm not broke. I don't need to do this goofy ass pulling out coupons and deals and trying to get rewards. I'm a grown ass man with a high paying job. I don't need to do that. And that ego is what gets you fucked up because you let that ego control you and then you've deprived yourself out of having more money to spend for more important adventures. Because we do that for petty shit. We'll be like, well, I'm going to buy this ring, or I'm going to buy this car, or I'm going to buy shit that I don't need. There are people, it's funny, the guy, so I had pest control come over because they do their like quarterly spraying of the house. I had him come over and then I had the guy come over just to check to see if I had any termites or whatever. Because I paid for like termite bait the year prior and wanted to see if there was anything. Good news, I don't have termites, y'all, so that's good news. But when we were talking, he was talking to me about his friend. His friend makes 6 figures, right? Makes 6 figures and bought like $100,000 car. What cracked me up with that whole thing is that his friend who bought the $100,000 car had 2 other cars he traded in to get the $100,000 car. One of which was a truck and the other one was like a smaller vehicle. The truck wasn't even paid off. He had a truck that was probably maybe had like another 10 or 15 grand on it that he didn't want to pay off. So what he did is he traded his truck in and the smaller car. And if you know anything about trading in when you have debt on it, that means that he didn't really get no money back for the truck. Actually, the money they were going to give him for the truck was less than what he owed. So like, give an example. Let's say he owed 15 grand on the truck. They were only going to give him 9 for the truck. So he would still be under the money he got back for the truck. He didn't even get to use. It just went back to paying a truck that he was trading in anyway. And then he still owed like another 6 grand. And then even the small car he was trading in also wasn't enough to pay back the difference of that 6 grand. And then what did he go do? He essentially bought the car, the brand new car, the $100,000 car for more than what it was worth. Why? Because not only did he really didn't get any money back, he still owed money on the truck. So it essentially added like an extra 3 grand onto the $100,000. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Why did your friend do that? Well, he makes six figures. He makes good money. That means nothing if you still have the same shitty spending habits, but people don't think about that. They sit there and they want to blame other people and the government for why their money and life is fucked up. You're just bad with your money. You're bad with your money. And we don't like to take responsibility. Gamers are the same way. You sit here and want to take a moral stance on like which consoles and which DLC you're not going to buy. And yet you've sit out here and bought $200 special editions you didn't need. And listen, I'm the one to talk. I have special editions right here. I have Xenoblade 3s. I have Bayonetta 3s. I have Fire Emblem Engaged. I have Tokyo Mirage Sessions. But I also wasn't sitting here trying to act like I was better than y'all because I had those things. I got those things because I liked those games. Or because I liked those IPs and I wanted to support those IPs. Because, of course, some of those games I bought when I hadn't played the game, so it couldn't be just because I like the game, which is why I still regret not having Xenoblade 2s. But I'm also being relatively cheap and recognizing I don't need that stuff. This is a hobby. They definitely need to teach financial literacy in school. They're not going to because their goal is to get you in debt. I mean, let's be real here. College, in a lot of ways, is one of the biggest hustles that happens right after you get out of high school. You get out of high school and you said you need a job. Well, you can't get a job without a degree. How do I get a degree? You go into college. Did you get a scholarship in high school that you were supposed to know to get in your years of 14 through 18? Oh, you didn't get the scholarship. Well, then I got some bad news for you, buddy. You have to pay because your parents are too successful. If your parents were too successful, you now have to pay, which is why I think in a lot of ways life punishes those who made strong and sound decisions, which is why people sometimes prefer being bums because they know that financially they'll get away with it. See, when you lose as a bum, it doesn't feel as much of a loss because you didn't put anything into it. Versus if you lose trying, it hurts a lot more because you know you put in a genuine effort. It reminds me of that scene of what is it? Oh, of The Simpsons when Bart notoriously never tries on his test. He would just say fuck it and take the F. And I think there's one episode where he genuinely tries to get a good grade. He tries to take the test seriously. And he does the test, he finishes the test, he gives it back to the teacher, and the teacher goes, failed. He's like, what? He's like, what? You get F's all the time. He's like, but I was trying this time. Which to him was like a nasty confirmation of, I'm fucking dumb. I just thought I was lazy. No, I'm actually stupid. Because it hurts more to know that you put in all your effort and strength and time and blood, sweat, and tears to do something, and then you don't accomplish a goddamn thing, and you look and go, even when I put in the effort, I just wasn't good enough, which is a very dark realization to come to, depending on when you come to that realization. Bart came to that realization as a child, which is horrifying, but it's also probably one of the better times to run into it because you have a lot of time to make it up. What's up, Orion? I really like GVG, but there are people saying that they wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get the Nintendo Switch 2 because he hadn't paid yet. He hadn't got paid yet. If that's rough for him, maybe the Nintendo Switch 2 isn't for him currently. Agreed. People saying that college isn't good, but there's no alternatives really besides trade schools, and not everybody wants to do that kind of stuff. If they don't know, I know a place where they can learn financial literacy and get a free FNA 2. Watching me and Tyrone at the same time. That's right. Tyrone is saying, I know Tyrone's streaming. I don't know what Tyrone is streaming about. I'm intentionally not looking to see what Tyrone's streaming about. I just wanted to do my own stuff. What's up, Joshua? What are we talking about at the moment? I'm just kind of talking. The last thing I'm talking about is kind of like financial responsibility and laziness of people. And with the college thing, just to quickly round back to that, college by itself feels like a scam because the thing it provides you with, you have to go through so much debt to accomplish. That's the problem with, like, is a college degree very helpful in getting jobs? Yes. Legends. Oh, Legends Arceus? No, Legends ZA. I'm sorry. I don't know why I went Arceus immediately. What's up, Rob? When it comes to college and that, does a college degree help you depending on the degree you have to get good jobs? Absolutely. But the problem is that it depends on how you get that degree. Give me an example. If you get a scholarship and you get a degree, it was absolutely worth it because at that point, you didn't have to spend any extra money. Your scholarship carried you through college and you were able to take advantage of that scholarship and make a bunch of money. It was worth it. But let's say you didn't get a scholarship and your parents were too successful. That means you now have to pay either through getting loans, your parents getting loans, or a combination of both to then fund your way through college. And this is implying your college career only takes you 4 years. In a lot of people's cases, it takes them 5 or 6 years, depending on what happens in life. So now you've taken a 4 to 6 year investment into a degree that in some ways you may not even realize you want until you're like halfway through your education. And as a result, you've now wasted time and money just to get that degree. And you might be in too much debt to even really get a place to start off with to make money to pay off that degree. A college degree is only helpful when you wait 3 more years working in the field when the job offer says 5 years experience is warranted. I mean, obviously it depends on what the field is, but the problem with college degrees is that depending on how your situation, and for everyone it's different, it can be a definite boon, but it can also be a fucking mess. Some people were able to just constantly go back and hit college and get their degrees immediately because they got scholarships or because their parents made enough money. The biggest problem I have is that college doesn't really benefit the middle class inherently. It benefits probably more of the lower class and the upper class, which unfortunately means that people in the middle class have 2 decisions. Either you make enough money to where it doesn't matter, or you say fuck it and lose money. Because unfortunately, not making money has been more beneficial. That's part of the reason why I think the welfare system is the way it is now, because people literally benefit in not being shit. There is no benefit going into middle class. Middle class forces you to be responsible in every way, shape, and form. Like, give an example. I think I found this. I have cousins who are like on welfare, right? There are certain things that I have to pay for that they don't have to pay for. And it comes up in like small ways. Like, for example, I pay for like Walmart Plus, right? I pay for Walmart Plus so I can get like free deliveries for groceries to the house. This is a convenience. I don't need this, but it is a convenience, right? I have a cousin who gets it, not only has it, but has it for way less than I do. Now, the implication is because they make way less than I do, which is true. But think about it. I have an associate's degree. I have a job that pays well, and she has the same thing I have without doing nearly as much work. And mainly just because she doesn't have any money. And that stuff makes people angry and jaded. Nobody wants to sit here and realize that like there was no reason to work hard. Now, granted, there are certain things in life and successes that you will never experience if you don't get up and try. But early on, to look around and see people doing extremely worse than you, but having some of the same stuff you do without as much of the burden that it is to go to work for 8 hours a day and deal with job nonsense, it's just frustrating for some people. And I can understand why people are just like, fuck it sometimes. Because it's like, bro, you being broke allowed you to get essentially where I'm at without doing nearly as much work. Let me see. And get a good job in the workforce, but now when looking for new jobs, most require qualification of some kind. I think you should do what will make you money for sure instead of just going to college. If you want to go to college, then you should know what you want to do. Well, some people have said that they make more money on unemployment than from their job. That's true. We have a system that, like I said before, we have a system that inherently rewards not trying. Even though their heights will never be as high as mine's, their day-to-day is weirdly similar to mine's, even though they've put in way less work. In the beginning, it was help because of the prestige. When it became a necessity beyond big three, medicine, law, higher education, the worth of a college dropped like a stone. That's one thing I had a problem with all the time, and so does still now. I don't know what I want to do, but now looking for something in electrical seems interesting for me. Also, higher education used to be a scarcity. Well, yeah. And then they made it a requirement. That's the other thing. A lot of jobs made it a requirement that you had to go to college, and you had to have a degree, or you had to have a certification, which then made colleges make a ridiculous amount of money because everyone had to go get a degree, or you couldn't get a job. And if you could get a job, you were extremely limited in what you could and couldn't do. On top of the kind of job and position you wanted. Because the other issue is I've always had, and I've seen it now, the higher you go up the corporate ladder, the less enjoyable your life is. I know people, what fucked me up recently is that my boss, like the director of information technology, she is married, her husband and her both make six figures, and they live extremely well off. And this woman is bored out of her mind. She knows nothing either of IT or technology, because I'm gonna be real with you, the higher up in the ladder you go, the disconnected you become with your field. Almost every field turns into a managerial position after a certain point, because that's what's up at the top. You're managing everyone else below you. So even if it's in IT, information technology, you're not required to know the day-to-day stuff, which then comes into situations where you think your boss is stupid because she doesn't know the difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11. And you're just like, what? You're the director of technology. But you know why she doesn't know? She doesn't know because she doesn't have to know. Because she's no longer in the pay grade to where that fucking matters. It doesn't fucking matter. And part of me hates that. And IT is a very weird field for me because I like computers. I like technology, as you guys know, with all the fucking crazy setups and the goddamn PCs and the game consoles I indulge in all the time. But like when you go up the highest ladder of IT, you are stuck in a room doing really just one thing. And you make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't get it twisted. You are absolutely getting paid. But it's such a boring fucking job to sit here with the keyboard out and you're just typing away. This is it. Hold on, I messed up some code. I don't even know if you guys can hear the keyboard clicking, but if you can. All right, done with this. There's the code. This code. And see, here's the kicker. If you're good at your job, you'll probably finish it before the day's over. So you're just like about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours out of an 8-hour day in, you're just like, done. And then you look at the clock and go, fuck, it's 10. Or fuck, it's 11. You still got like another 4 or 5 hours. And I'm just like, yo, that is a boring fucking job. That is such a boring job. But that's what high-end IT turns into, is just. Now, granted, I don't necessarily love every aspect of my current job. When you're on the ground floor, is it cool because it keeps you kind of constantly jumping between things? Absolutely. But you know the worst part of the on the ground job? You get asked the dumbest fucking questions. Do you know how many times I've been asked about their computer and they point to their monitor like it's the computer? Just because it shows what's on the screen does not make it the computer. The computer is that big box on the floor that you have to plug into the wall. What the fuck? Oh, I thought that was the battery. Dog, what? You thought this big ass rectangular box was a fucking battery? And that's why then I completely understand when people start making those thin clients and just putting those in offices, because people are stupid. And to give them those big ass towers when they barely understand what they're using, yeah, just do that. That shit I hate, but I also like the fact that I'm constantly doing something different. Also, I've learned that printers are the scum of the earth. I fucking hate printers. I hate printers so much. They're so bad, bro. Have you ever realized that when it comes to personal printers, you're dealing with different types of inks, whether it's laser or thermal or cartridges, and whether or not it has a fucking proper, if it's a business one or a home/personal use one, and all the not, whether it's on network or if it's hooked up through USB. Side note, always hook them bitches up with USB. Network is a pain in the ass. Do you have the right IP address? Is the IP address static? You sit there checking this. What about the DNS server? Fuck, I'm so tired of this shit. And then you have your classic, I forgot my password. Well, what's your last name? Okay, I reset it to a temporary password. Once you log in with that, it'll let you change it to whatever you want. Cool. I'm locked out. How are you locked out? I just gave you the reset. Well, I put it in and then it didn't work. Did you put it in twice? You know how it says your current password, then it says confirm your password. Then no, it says your current password, then write your new password, and then confirming your new password. Oh, I had to write it twice. It's reset again. Do it again. I'm locked out again. I guess I gotta come over there and do it for you. And you can't do it for them because it's their password. You're not supposed to know other people's passwords. It's Security 101. Then we have our network team out here sending out like phishing emails to get people in the mindset of being able to tell what the difference between like an official email and a fake email is. And someday you're tired and you go click, oh, phishing email. Now you gotta take a fucking a 30-minute video quiz essay about the dangers of phishing emails, and you're just like, But I will say the variety is what keeps me entertained. I've learned a lot between Apple management, Windows management, a little bit of Linux, not a lot because of course they're not going to use Linux in schools, and then Chromebook management. That part of IT is cool, this content like jumping between different things and stuff. I love that kind of stuff. But the fucking in the cubicle being like, all right, hey John, hey Terrell. 3 hours later. 2 minutes later. Finish. 3 hours later. It's still not time to go home yet. 1 hour later. Oh, thank God. I guess I'll be back to do it all over tomorrow. Yeah. No, you don't have to be rich to have a PS5 or an Xbox. For me, if I was rich, I upgrade my PC with several new parts and a fucking house and a car. Well, unfortunately, depending on what state you live, at least with the US, houses specifically are just kind of out of the question for you guys. I think everybody would love to be rich enough to do things for people, but I'm also surprised that with all this money people make, the first thing they don't do is just pay for your first house. Like, it kind of fucks me up how many rappers or famous like actresses who go bankrupt, the first thing they lose is their fucking house. Why didn't you pay off your fucking house first? I can tell someone that would make someone go insane. Oh, absolutely. The monotony is one of the most dangerous things. Why did the camera unfocus for a second? Monotony is one of the most dangerous things in life, bro. I hate it. That's why I already told you my life. I don't know if I think I've said it before, but I don't know if I've said it on stream as much. My life goal is to find a middle ground. I don't need to be crazy rich because that means my job is so unnecessarily extraneous that I don't have the free time or peace that I want. But obviously, I don't want to have a bullshit ass job where I'm on the ground floor of everything and it's just trash. Like I want a balance between upper, but not like too high, but low enough to where I'm still allowed to kind of just chill. Because the moment you get into a managerial position, you have to do so many things out of work. Dog, like I will never want to do anything out of work. Also, what is the Disney Plus thing I missed? If I was rich, I'd buy a PS5, an Xbox Series, a Steam Deck, more manga, Netflix, desktop, computer, Disney Plus, Paramount, etc. Because why not? I can afford it. Who cares? But that gets back to my original point, Mel. That's what people do. You should have went to Streamer University. Oh, never. I went through it. It's funny because I know Tyrone, for example, wants to be a streamer full time. I don't think I like streaming's landscape. Also, there are just certain things that as a streamer you just can't do anymore. Like, I'm gonna just be real with you. Most people who become streamers do it when they're like teenagers or in their 20s, where you still are like connected to the culture you would be appealing to. And some people obviously get into it when they're older, but to stay relevant, to make an X amount of dollars, you would have to be on every single trend or be the trendsetter consistently. And the older you get, the more of a disconnect you have with your fans. I'm gonna just be real with you. There are some people who are just too old to really connect. That's why a lot of my fan base, and I go look at my analytics, are people who are like in their late 20s and early 30s. Why? Because I lost the teenage route a while ago because of either how I talk or because I'm no longer that age. I don't connect to a demographic I'm not a part of anymore. I have some bleed over, don't get it twisted, but like, I just don't hit in that same realm anymore. Like, how many of you guys are under the age of 25? Like in all seriousness, there's 16 of you here. How many of you guys are under the age of 25? You can't, this streaming stuff is not meant to be forever unless you just want to coast, which is what I would rather do. I would rather do this as a side thing, make some side money from it where I could use to go to like trips and do extra fun shit and just leave it at that. When I become a billionaire, I'm going to take over the anime industry, monopolize the best animators by actually paying them. Oh, you're a crazy man. There's a guy I used to watch sometimes that just invites his friends over and they just cook. He's a big streamer. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it depends on who you are and how you make your appeal to the masses. But my goal is never to be like the streamer. I have no interest in that. My goal is to kind of just, I want a space higher than this. Absolutely. Like I want to be getting like hundreds of viewers in streams, but I don't necessarily need thousands of viewers in streams. I don't need to do like 100,000 on the daily. You have to do some wild stuff in this day and age. Well, that's because we created shock value content. This became more about like, hey, I can outdo your craziness stunt. It's essentially clip farming is what it is. Why do you think IRL streaming is so popular? Like even now, I'm just talking to you guys and I have gotten more viewers here than I have on like any of my gaming streams. That's kind of, which is funny and crazy and sad at the same time. Gaming used to be such a big thing online for streaming that if you were on the game, it's like, how are you expecting to get any views? Now, I'll be 25 next year. See, falling right into that demographic. Let's get it. But yeah, like nowadays, people don't even care about the consoles or the gaming. They just want to talk to you as an individual. Granted, I think COVID kind of kicked a lot of that up with this feeling of being isolated. But man, when I tell you, it's just more, you got to play the newest games. I don't think it's the newest games. Well, it depends if I became known for gaming. But a lot of us are just known for our personalities. I think that's, well, thank you, YouTube chat viewer. What the fuck? Love when you do that. That's weird. What the hell? Freaking trash, bro. Hold on. Hold the on. Why did that happen to me? I made a mistake. And I'm willing to destroy everything. Okay, did you... There it goes. Oh. Thought I heard something. Also, it's training to stream a watch song along or commentary of other content creator videos. Yeah, I mean, let's be real here. That's what the Hassan does. That's what like Pokimane does. That's what like a lot of popular high-end streamers do. They don't even really make their own content anymore. Most high-end streamers nowadays, you know what kind of content they make? It's just reaction videos. It's funny that back in the day, one of my biggest gripes is I thought my anime reactions would be like a problem. And to me, they were a problem because it felt like I was just doing base level stuff. But man, that's like the most popular content now. It's just IRL streams of you either doing wild shit or reacting to other people's content, which is just better stuff than what you should be making. Which is why I don't like doing reaction content, because if I'm gonna do that, I would rather just make that content. Also, I think that works better for those who stream daily and don't have time to make their own content. That makes more sense. Like, if you stream every day, you're not gonna have time to make your own content because you're constantly streaming. So it's like a buffer. You can still do a stream and make some money, and vice versa. Make another channel for anime reactions. The goal is to get as many eyes on you as possible. If that channel gets 500 subs and then 50 travel to this channel for streams, that's a W. That's true. Which I guess goes into the whole marketing aspect of like modern streaming. You're playing like a game of where you're gonna blow up and how you funnel those viewers into other content. And to be real with you, I think one of the worst things I've always done is not really promote that other content. I don't bring this channel up that much. Trends are exhausting. They're absolutely exhausting. The goal is to make the vlog channel coming back. I mean, I kind of don't see the point because I'm gonna be real with you, my life isn't interesting enough. Like, you gotta realize, Mel, when I did this back in the day, I didn't think I was that interesting then, but I just had a lot on my mind because I had nobody to talk to. Like, a lot of people who made YouTube videos back in the day did it literally because they had no one else to conversate with. That's why a lot of old school YouTubers became friends with each other, because they just didn't have people around them like that. Like, a lot of my old school rants and societal discussions and anime reviews and random one-off videos, all that was from a sense of I was by myself. My friends had moved to various parts of either the state or just completely different states entirely. And the friends I had were the ones I met online, which is why you saw a bunch of videos of me doing stuff with like Uber Black Man and Phone and J-Man and stuff, because those are like the people I was engaging with on a daily basis. Like, and times have changed. We've gotten older. We have different jobs. We're in different parts of our lives. On top of some of these people have kids now, right? And responsibilities that I just don't have to deal with or are just different. The reason why I don't really do the vlog channel anymore, the vlog channel was unboxing videos. That's what the vlog channel went from being like me just talking to unboxing videos. And part of me hates that my content is split between so many channels, like realistically. But when I threw everything on the Insane Game Freak channel, it was obvious that like some of my stuff was just getting filtered down, like realistically, which is why I don't really like that. At this point in time, I'm kind of just doing this. Streaming, and then if I want to talk, streaming has become the future. That's why I don't really, it's hard to make realistically one-off videos anymore because people don't really care as much. Their interest is more so in the IRL streaming platform where they get to talk to the individual live, which is fine. I get it. Times change, and if you want to be a functional streamer, you have to be able to float and change with the times. and you have to take risks. That's why I shifted from Twitch to YouTube. Because even though YouTube, I was getting paid from Twitch, I wasn't really growing on Twitch. Because the only way you grow on Twitch is if you funnel viewers from somewhere else. And I'm like, well, if I got to do that, I might as well just get the viewers from where I had the most views in the first place, which was here. I won't say the channel's really coming back. If I make those videos, I'll just put them on here. Or I'll just do streams like this where we're just talking and chilling. Like I said, not everything needs to be about gaming on this channel. I just want like this kind of content to be somewhere. This will mostly still be a live streaming channel, but having them as these like chilling chat sessions in some ways I think is better anyway. For us just shooting the shit and talking, having it as a stream is probably more engaging for people. And since currently I'm not monetized, I can kind of say and do whatever I want. And the moment that check comes, all the fucks leave the building. But yeah, modern streaming is a bitch. My hats always tip off to like Kai Cenat and like Speed. But even them, you know what they're doing now? They're streaming when they go to different countries and go over people's houses and stuff. And they're doing streams with celebrities. How do you up the ante from that? You can't do any more than that. That's why when he does play a game, like when Kai got really popular to when Kai's Elden Ring stream got really popular, you know what he did? He turned his room into a fucking Game of Thrones room. Who the fuck has money to do that, bro? Yeah, the main channel stuff is still monetized. The main channel's fine in terms of that. And I still make money off of that and memberships. But it's not anything crazy. Like I don't even get paid every month. So that should give you a hint that I'm not making like a lot of money. If I was making a lot of money, I get paid every month. I don't. So yeah. Do you still talk to manga men still? I don't really talk to men, but like we're cordial. We see each other online, show support and whatnot. Kai's Batman stream was, yeah, because he dressed up as Batman. For him, half of the appeal of those games was just playing, not even playing the game, but just him and even the Minecraft one he did with I Showed Speed. The best parts of those streams have nothing to do with the game. It's just Kai and Speed's reactions. Like I think I think Speed took like a honey pack, which is like a Viagra, essentially just Viagra, essentially. And things got wild. Like that's the kind of content we talking now. Almost people want to be like, man, can you move the gameplay out the way? We're trying to see what Speed and Kai are about to do. Man, I just bought a motorcycle, so I have no more money for the Switch 2. Hey, man, it's all good, bro. Live your life. Just make sure you got enough to support your lifestyle and live comfortably. As long as you got that, then we Gucci. That's why I always say people sometimes are worrying too much about becoming rich. I'm like, bro, just enjoy yourself. I talked to Manga Man a few weeks ago. He's funny as fuck. Is he? Okay. Were y'all on Discord? I've only talked, King of Lightning I talked to really early in his career. And that's just because we were in similar circles. But me and Lightning never really talked. Like even thinking back to that era of like YouTube, I only had a handful of those people I was talking to. Jay will always be a constant. Yokorama was a constant for a while. B-Dub, Rodney. There were just some people I was like, really? Yes, I know it's Revolver. Revolver, I know you from the icon, if anything else. Time for sleep. Night, Donnie. Have a good night, bro. I'll see you tomorrow for Expedition 33, which I believe is in French. No, it might be in English. I have to go back and check. How you think about the recent Black Clover and One Piece chapters? Speaking of Lightning. So the recent Black Clover chapters, I have to remind myself, is where they hold him. They hold my boy. They hold my boy Asta. I hate that we have to wait so long for Black Clover chapters, but the chapters for the most part have been quality. Although I hate that we're kind of done with like the side fights. I wanted to see more of like Vanessa and the other ones. Yeah, so yeah, it's English. Yeah, it's English for next one. I hate that Lucius was on some fucking let me show your mom. Let's do that. Let's go and pull that trick out. You gonna show my mom in front of me and juke me? and slash me and cut me down. But the one thing I will say, he has been incredibly consistent about making sure that Asta and Yuno are equally important. Because he could have easily left Yuno in the dust by now. It's part of the reason why I think the Black Clover movie is still so good. It very much tries to keep both Yuno and Asta relevant in different ways. And having him grab, I think it's the Black Divider sword is what he has right now. That's gonna be some nice stuff. One Piece, the Elbaf stuff has gone so left. I'm excited, but a little bummed out because it's become way bigger than I thought it. I won't say because I think because it's become so much bigger than the Straw Hats themselves. Part of me hates that because one of the big things about Elbaf for me was supposed to be for Usopp, who in all honesty hasn't got to do much at all this arc. If anything, we've gotten weird history and interesting stuff about Chopper. Well, Chopper being interested in trying to figure out how to beat those immortal demons, which I hope Chopper is like the main one to learn that technique and is able to fight them on equal terms. I would very much want that a lot because I've been missing Chopper stuff and I think he deserves it. Brook having some connection to the girl, I think is very interesting, and I like it because it's like who was Brook in the past, and because we knew he came from a certain kingdom. We knew he wasn't just originally a pirate. Brook's backstory takes place when he's a pirate, but technically he had a whole life. I think he joined Yorkie's crew in like his 30s, right? He was part of Yorkie's crew in his 30s. Usopp's still not pulling his weight. Even Luffy called him out. Chill out, bro. I say Yuno's almost more relevant. That's true. But I like this lore with Brook and this girl. I'm very curious to see where that's gonna go. And then the recent chapter has been kind of nuts, which I won't go into because of spoilers. But it's been cool. Elbaf is different, but it's been cool and I've enjoyed it. I have my concerns, but I need to see where we're going. Also, Robin has been a treat. It's weird that Robin has been. I already like Robin, but man, I love Robin. I think she's gotten more stuff out of Elbaf. I think she's the one who's gotten the most stuff out of Elbaf than any of the Straw Hats. Like, so good, so good. I'm also, speaking of Usopp, check Discord. I DM'd you a picture. I'll check it in a second. I hope at least by this point Usopp would have some more love at this point, but I'm like, a moment. Well, that just kind of gets into my overall issue with One Piece in this part 2 section we've been in. One Piece part 2, you did not DM me anything, studio. I'm looking now. You haven't DM'd me nothing. What did you DM me, sir? Send it. I'm looking at my Discord right now. I do not see it. Make sure you DM'd it to me because I do not have any DMs from you as of recently. What was I gonna say though? Let me see something. Oh wait, I turned off my keyboard. I turned off my keyboard to do that whole skit of me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wish Black Clover got pushed more. That's pretty funny. Studio, you're so stupid. This ain't your arc, homie. Let's go. I'm a big Brook fan, so I'm fine. That's crazy. But no, in all seriousness though, bro, I just part 2 One Piece will always be the weaker out of One Piece's 2 halves. I don't think it's a terrible time skip, but it definitely is a weaker time skip for me personally. Like I personally prefer part 1 One Piece. I've rewatched part 1 One Piece so much, bro. Like I just prefer part 1 One Piece. You're not gonna really. We're too deep into part 2 One Piece for me to think that they were recovering. But part 2 One Piece definitely has its moments. Don't get it twisted. Don't ever get it twisted. But for me personally, part one One Piece will be peak. Saying that too many times back to back is exhausting, low key. As far as the Persona 4 remake thing, I mean, I'm not really surprised. Unfortunately, and I hate to say it, unfortunately, it's gonna go the Reload route. We're gonna just replace the entire cast. And then if you hear Yuri or any of the other old cast members, it'll be as cameos, just like they did with 3 Reload. They just want to essentially revamp it. And I really hope that means the game doesn't become easier or worse as a result, but Reload is kind of a mixed bag, so you take that for what you will as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I think My Hero, at least in the West, is more popular. It's more popular, better anime adaptation to. I agree, Black Clover should have got pushed more though. Black Clover just had some shitty things against it that wasn't really America's fault. It was more of just motherfuckers in Japan being cheap and lazy, and it screwed us. If they made the Golden Stuff DLC, I'm done. I don't know. I think I'd be curious to see how they handle P4 remake, especially considering at this point it's all but confirmed. You have 2 of the voice actors essentially unofficially confirming the remake and just saying, we're not voicing characters in the remake. And we're like, oh shit. One Piece Part 1 feels like a story that went from a strong story with a great foreshadowing allegory. And Part 2 feels like it was too much dialogue / content to the point where it feels like it's messy. I think the problem is that Part 1 was doing fun shit while dropping interesting pieces of lore and story. And you can tell that becomes more and more prevalent once we hit like CP9 and Water 7. We start getting a lot of like just hints to things that are coming up soon. And Part 2 feels like its goal is to still do that. The beginning of Part 2 feels like it's trying to do more of that, while also closing a lot of chapters on things. Like Part 2 is meant to be a bunch of resolutions for stuff. It's meant to like close the book on a lot of plot lines, so we're done with them. But as a result, that means that arcs no longer feel like adventures. I feel like that's my biggest problem with Part 2. Part 2 One Piece feels like it's just trying to wrap up plot that it's introduced and hinted to. And as a result, that is more important than the Straw Hats. Whereas the Straw Hats in Part 1 were always the forefront with casual stuff in the background being brought up. Like, remember Skypiea? Skypiea has a bunch of lore and stuff with Nolan and Kagura that means nothing to Luffy and the others. But Luffy and the others are mostly the forefront, except for the episode that is just a flashback to Nolan, which, by the way, none of the strides even here. It's not even like a normal flashback where it's a story being told. It just is a flashback happening. Versus like if you get to like Dressrosa and Wano, where we're just getting full flashbacks of like the Gold Roger flashback and Wano I like a lot actually. I like the Oden flashback purely because it allows us to see Oden, Gold Roger, and Whitebeard in like a different light. So I appreciate that one specifically. But a lot of it is just, hey, let me show you this lore, and then this lore, and then this lore, and then this plot line, and this plot line. And in the middle of all this, you're also like, so we gonna get to see Usopp fight somebody? No. We ain't got time for that. And I think that's what kind of hurts me with Part 2. Part 2 is less about the adventure of it all and just kind of goes into the plot and the lore. Even Egghead's like that. Egghead starts on some whimsical fun shit and then immediately devolves into, well, the government and Kizaru and the 5 elders and the Gorosei and fucking and Vegapunk himself. Like, it's that. Like, all that took over the arc. So, like, we didn't get a lot of fun fucking around, enjoying the arc and the game. Like, Egghead is a cool place visually, and we spend most of it in just plot and inside buildings and shit. Let me see. Summer Games Fest announcement for P4. I can see that in Xbox. But Jeff is making it his life's missions to get these heavy hitters. He's really trying to be the new E3. Hell, he might be it now. Technically, he's at just because. What's up, Goki? You are late, by the way. You're an hour, almost an hour and a half late, actually. What was I gonna say? I got fucking thrown off. Oh, at this point, Jeff, Summer Game Fest is essentially E3 without being E3 with none of the hype, not nowhere near as much hype. Although we did get confirmation that Nintendo's gonna be at Summer Game Fest this year, so I'm a little excited because I'm curious because they usually don't join other things. I did see some stuff about Nintendo that kind of ticked me off though, where people were like, Nintendo, what was it? It wasn't the, what was it? Oh God. I gotta go look up a video I don't want to go watch. Fuck me. Hold on. I remember who it is. It's Arlo's editor, but he said it and I was like, this just sounds stupid. So now I gotta go look up the YouTuber. And deal with that nonsense. Hold on. This might not be worth it. Hold on, let me look it up on my phone real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. It was something he said, and I was just like, what? Let's see. Where is it? Damn, hold on. This is gonna piss me off. I don't remember it the way I want to, and that's what's annoying me. Where is it? He literally makes videos every day. I'm surprised he's not higher on my feed.
Okay, folks, we got our hands on our...
Shut up. Oh, Nintendo's obsession with exclusivity. Because they were talking about how they updated the Nintendo Today app to essentially have DRM to where you can't like screen record the footage, and how he thinks that like Nintendo is going to essentially become, they're just going to lock everything. They're going to eventually start locking Nintendo Directs behind their app, right? And I think people need to understand that when it comes to Nintendo, Nintendo is the weird art kid. That is what Nintendo is. Nintendo is the weirdest fuck art kid. And why this is important is very simple. Nintendo being the weird art kid means that they're gonna do shit that's very off the wall and weird for the sake of trying something different and new. And as a result, it's gonna become off insanely. That's why I don't like the exclusivity thing, because that's technically that's what Nintendo Direct is. Nintendo Direct is an exclusive thing. Originally, they were just joining their stuff up with E3 presentations. They were leaving it up to the media to push a narrative, and they said, I'm not going to do that shit no more. So what did we get? We got Nintendo Directs to where they could control everything. They could essentially put out a pre-recorded video. And now Nintendo Directs are so popular. We have State of Plays or Xbox Showcases. We have Devolver Digital Directs. Like, they created and pioneered proper delivery of game content without the use of a third party. Nintendo wants to make things exclusive because they don't want their narrative to be controlled by anybody else. Realistically, I don't think any company wants their narrative to be controlled by anybody else. If the narrative is being made, they want to be the ones making the narrative. That's the whole point of that narrative. The goal is that you are dictating your voice in what is being said. I think at a certain point, people are just like, well, why does Nintendo have to be different? I'm like, it's Nintendo being different is what saved the gaming industry. Them being like, well, why don't we market a video game as a toy? And that's what created our gaming. That's what saved our gaming industry and turned it into what it was today. People talk so much shit about the Wii. The Wii is the reason why you have the Move. The Wii is the reason why you have the Kinect. So, well, the Move was so much better than the Wii. It should be. It was an iteration on the Wii. Nintendo was the originator. If Sony wants to be the perfecter, cool, but let's not pretend like he had the idea already. He didn't. You had to see if another company could do it and then see if they could do it better. Really, Nintendo's been getting copied throughout the entire gaming industry, and people don't want to give them their credit. Same thing with Breath of the Wild. Oh, what do you mean an open world game that doesn't like throw 60 million icons at you and lets you discover things naturally? That's preposterous. Preposterous. And then Breath of the Wild came out and did it. And all of a sudden everybody else was like, well, maybe we need to reinvent the open. Oh, now you need to reinvent the open world genre. Huh? How about that? Reinvent the open world genre all of a sudden. There's nothing to do with that company, that the Big N, who's been changing the game ever since they've been out, right? That'd be, nah, couldn't be. Couldn't be. It's weird because I posted a question on Twitter, I want to say earlier this week. Yeah, even the handheld gaming thing, the console hybrid thing. You have the Portal that came out. Shut up. Well, Goki's about to be a villain. Goki's being a whole villain. And Xbox talking about their portable system like Nintendo's about to change the game. May not have been the openly first one, but they were the most successful, because you can say whatever you want about the Legion Go or the Steam Deck, but the one that sold the most copies as of right now is the Nintendo Switch. So who's doing it right? Full circle now, how Zelda keeps pushing the industry. Well, because that's what you get when you're the weird kid. Like, a lot of people are sitting there talking about how they don't like the Nintendo Music app. Why I gotta pay for something I can go look up on YouTube? I'm like, for one, I will say my biggest issue I have is I wish the Nintendo Music app was on the Switch itself, the Switch 2 itself, and you can play music in the background while you're on the home screen. Now, in retrospect, you don't need to do this, but I would like to do this because I think it's a cool feature, and I don't see the problem in it because it's Nintendo putting Nintendo stuff on their Nintendo console. But that's a whole other thing. Them having their unique only them stuff, I think as a whole, is to make them self-reliant. Especially because they kind of had to be, because they were kind of pushed out of the industry by like the majority of third parties for a while. The Switch is like the first console in a while that has had proper third-party support and like genuine build-up and connection with the third-party companies, to where like they actually had a hand in helping making the console better. And also making money off the console. Square Enix definitely made money off the console, which is probably why we're getting Bravely Default remake or remaster on Switch 2. Although I'm not happy about the game keycard thing, but it is what it is. Capcom, I expect probably to see the remakes of the Resident Evil games pop up now. And maybe a good version of Resident Evil 7 that isn't cloud, because fuck you. We don't like cloud versions in this house. Take it back. Take it back! I don't want it! Nintendo is weird. I think they want to get away from Twitter because it's crazy and their exclusive app content sucks. I mean, the fact that Solo Leveling won Anime of the Year let me know that Boruto is going to become the most iconic character in this verse when the anime returns. That Boruto has changed a lot. I will say that. I have been reading the manga. It's a different vibe entirely. And overall, I think the time skip has been an improvement to the story. It's still not something I'm incredibly in love with reading, but I have kept up with it from time to time. What's up, Tyrone? Xbox has paused their handheld to do Windows handheld. So same difference, just different just instead of Xbox, it's PC, which is probably the smarter move anyway, because they've kind of shot their Xbox branding in the foot. Ironically enough, with all this talk about companies that should go third party, I don't know why motherfuckers aren't just fine with Xbox being third party. It's weird that the narrative is completely different when it comes to Xbox and Nintendo about being third party. When Nintendo goes third party, you don't need a console no more. Just fucking put everything on PC and other consoles. Okay? But when we talk about Xbox going third party, well, you know, the Xbox just provides a box in case you don't want to play games on Steam or you don't want to play it on the PC. Oh, really? Oh, now it's okay to not have a box. If you're angry about Nintendo, just be real with yourself. We ain't gotta play these fucking games. What we playing? Pocket full of posies? I don't even know what a posy is. I know you a poser. It's not funny. It's not funny. Don't laugh. Please don't laugh, because then it makes me feel like I'm validated. And you know what happens when a man is validated? He starts making bad decisions. No, he starts making bad decisions. But now, in all seriousness, though, it's just the gaming industry will always be interesting to me in aspects, but I will say the burnout is definitely gonna come. I'm so sorry for Switch fans, because you're gonna get burnt out on Switch content so quick, bro. So quick. I low-key don't even want to talk about it for a while. I would rather just enjoy myself with the console and then come back and have full conversations. I don't even know if I may not even do the Juices Loose for a few weeks purely for that reason. I'm like, bro, I just don't feel like talking about the Switch 2 right now. I think I just want to enjoy the Switch 2. I think I just want to enjoy the console, the games, the experiences. And if you see me stream a game, cool. But like, just have that. Now, obviously, this isn't like locked in or nothing, but it is a thought process, because like, man, the fan base for these consoles and games, whoo. If you want to talk about toxic, man, I'll give you toxic. Poison sting, let's go. It's so hot in here. I need to fucking turn the AC on. I feel like my AC isn't on. Hold on. Remember, kids, when you get your house, get a smart thermostat so you can change the heat with your phone. You do this because it's hot and no one wants to be hot. I'll tell you right now, I don't want to be fucking hot. I'm just here to play some games and suffer. What? You can't enjoy things? What? Is this America? Wait. If Xenoblade Chronicles 2 gets an update, we going to go hard, fast, and loose. Absolutely. Absolutely. If I get that Xenoblade 2 update with either improved frame rates or improved graphics or smoother graphics or up-resing, I don't give a damn. I already have a reason. to replay that game, okay? I'm on my, third New Game Plus for that game? That's how I feel about it. I'm also tempted, speaking of gaming, I've also been tempted that when I do become partner again, about doing member-only streams where I start streaming titles that I just like. Like, I just leave those as like, I'm bored and I want to just have some fun with a game that I've already played, but I just don't feel like playing again. Maybe that'll become like a members-only thing where I'll just replay Xenoblade 2 for the fuck of it. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I won't say Nia's supremacy, but Nia's a good girl. She's a good girl. Very good girl. I feel like there's not enough Morag support because of, lack of body shape. But man, if you get them swimsuit outfits with Morag, it's over. It's over. Thigh gap, boys. Over. If only that upgrade can change the gameplay. Fuck you, Orion. You just don't like games that make you work for it. You want everything to come easy for you. That's why you want to play some fucking Scarlet and Violet. because you like dick. This is weird. This music sounds like Persona music low-key to me. It sounds very like Persona music to me. This sounds like some shit you would like listen to at night when you're doing your nighttime activities. Wait, is Morag thick? No, Morag is not technically thick. Morag, I think, technically goes under the either like slender or like slender muscular category. If I'm being objective, I don't think Morag would ever be considered thick. Particularly because there's also a bunch of girls in Xenoblade 2 that are considered thick. Actually, most of them are considered beyond thick. It's like, this is medium thickness. This is some basic shit. And then here's just being thick. See the juiciness of the thigh meat? And this is to go further beyond. You don't power up. You take a bowl full of grits and you just start eating. Goku's out here doing the girls trying to get thick, or they're doing like heavy squats, like It's fucking terrible, bro. I'm gonna drown in H2O, y'all. It's gonna be terrible. Let's see. Monolith needs more credit for switching up the gameplay in Torna. They had no reason and they did it anyway. Blushy crushy boys and blushy crushy boys. The blushy crushy boys. Bruh, me and my blushy crushy gang about to come out here and kill it, yo. Yeah. All right, let me calm down. Yeah. Who wants some blushy crushy? Hey, me and my boys always killing the game with the blushy crushy. That's how you know if you're a Xenoblade 2 fan, if you even get that reference. If you don't get the reference, you're not cultured. And don't go Google it, you fucking cowards. Just know the reference. Be cultured. Go play the game. We all about blushy crushy in this house, bro. If you ain't about blushy crushy, get the fuck out. Go read a book, huh? How about that shit? Won't you go and educate yourself, all right? Do that. Go get yourself a rare blade, huh? How about that? I'm so stupid, yo. I'm so dumb. Monolith Soft, by the way, needs like all the credit. If anything, that's the other video I want to do at some point, is be like in praise of Monolith Soft. Because not only have they been killing the game with their own stuff, but they've also been helping Nintendo with their own stuff. With their stuff, I mean. Zelda wouldn't even be considered GOAT right now if it wasn't through the efforts of Monolith Soft. Obviously, we wouldn't have Xenoblade if it wasn't through Monolith Soft. And Monolith Soft, I think, has been helping with other titles too. I think they helped with Mario Odyssey, I think. My father was a blushy, crushy boy and a fiend. I'm going for the booty joint. Not for a booty joint. Not the booty joint. Holler at your boys. It's time to get on the booty joint. Oh, Lord. If I don't get, I will say though, I'm going back to the Switch 2. If I do not get that, if I don't get it next week, I'm debating on not really talking about it much in general. Monolith Soft's been on the grind. Don't ever get it twisted. Because I know I'm going to burn myself out with Switch 2 stuff. It's too easy. Because if I talk about it, Juices Loose, then look up content, and then also playing the console itself. Yeah, I think I want to give myself just time not really talking about the console, and I know that's going to happen. So I'm mad they remove that voice line from Xenoblade 3. Well, what voice line from Xenoblade 3? My favorite line that was removed is, "Think you can take me? Don't forget me. Don't think you can take me? Don't forget me." It's not even like an offensive term. I think they only did it because it was annoying. But that was like half of the reason why it was a meme in itself. Think you can take me? Don't forget me. If you don't get it on the same day, you should sue that. What you mean? The amount of clout damage they cause, bro. You only saying that because then you won't get a stream. That's why you saying that. Which reminds me, I gotta figure out what I'm doing as a game if I don't get it. Because, well, actually, it's gonna hurt no matter what. Because Wednesday, yeah, because Wednesday is the freaking. Wednesday is the day I would stream. But I can't stream because even if I was going to get the Switch 2 on Thursday, that's Thursday. No, I think Nia has a voice on referencing Bodhi in Xenoblade 3. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Holy... What the hell, Goki? What? I'm so confused. What was that, Goki? You ain't getting a Switch 2? No. Let me explain. I guess I hate that I had to re-explain this for those who heard me. So let me explain. So here's the problem. I got a pre-order for Switch 2 at Target. Target has it set up as a delivery. The problem is that delivery is gapped between June 5th and June 11th. So there's no guarantee that I would get it on the 5th. Actually, it's more likely I'll get it later. And that's the problem. That's the core issue. Now, here's the good news is that my GameStop near me, God, you scared me with these, man. This man is wild and chill out, Revolver. But the thing that like bummed me out though is that GameStop is having a midnight release, and the one that's near me is already confirmed they will have extra Switches. My problem is this: there's no guarantee I'd be able to cancel my pre-order after purchasing said Switch 2. So either I could be on some petty shit and buy a Switch 2 at a GameStop midnight release and then go on and try to cancel / return the Switch I pre-ordered from Target, or I could just be an adult and just wait for it to come naturally. And I think, and it was due to the conversation I was talking about earlier, my mind was just thinking it'd probably be a smarter decision to wait. It's not like I need it right now. Of course, it would help with internet clout, but let's be real here. The Switch 2 is going to be relevant in conversation for a while anyway, especially if the rumored of like a direct coming is going to happen. Oh, I see. For me, Walmart, it says my pre-order arrives on the 5th. Yeah, from what I've heard, the Walmart pre-orders have been pretty on point. And if you get it from GameStop, you'll have it. But like, if you pre-ordered it and like bought it online, that's going to be the struggle. I wish Targets would change, but I don't think it's going to, because Target, doesn't like me to suffer. Although if you charge me fucking shipping, you better fucking put it out. I would have actually paid for shipping. I would have paid for higher shipping just for it to show up earlier. Because obviously I want to play it, which is going to make the Juice Loose really unnecessary to talk about if I don't get it day one. I also realized I don't have a case for it or a screen protector, which I do need to buy that. I don't even know that's available yet. You know the worst thing about pre-ordering online that pisses me off though? When you pre-order online, you know what tends to happen? It tends to be available within that gap of time you're waiting for it to show up at your doorstep. And the reason why this is important is actually very, very simple. Because, ladies and gentlemen, wait for it. Because then you end up seeing that product in store where you could just go buy it now versus you waiting for it to show up at your house. Actually, I think that's happened to me before, where like I was looking for a game and I ordered it from Amazon, and then I looked over and I went to like Best Buy and went, it's right there. And I was so pissed because I'd already bought it. The Walmart pre-order kind of has me on needles. I watched Jake Randall's video explaining how it works, but I'm still a little nervous. What do you mean? Can you link that video either in the server or on here so I can watch it later? Because I'm curious. Like, is it like that Walmart's pre-orders are just not locked in? I mean, the way they explained it with Target is that, listen, Target the individual store and then Target online are not the same Target. They are the same Target. They're part of the same entity, but they don't really work exactly the same. And I'm just like, ugh. I don't like any of that. But like I said, like I was talking about before earlier in the stream, like as adults, these are wants. These aren't needs. So I don't necessarily need to have it the day of. It'd be nice, and obviously I would want to stream some stuff, but it's not like required. It's the pre-order curse. If you do pre-order, then you're waiting for it to get to you. If you don't pre-order, then people will buy it up, all of them, and then they'll be sold out. Yeah, it's a trade-off. I'm not in love with it, nor am I a fan. But I think as an adult, it makes the most sense just to let it rock. I have a pre-order. It's in. It hasn't been canceled. It says preparing the ship. And I had to just kind of take it like that. Besides, we don't know how available this is going to be after the fact either. That's the other thing. We're still in that little weird waiting room. So we'll see how next week goes. There'll be plenty of videos and conversations to be had, so it's not like it's anything crazy. No, he explained that Walmart has a particularly secure process with drivers on the day of launch. I'll be at work when it gets delivered to me. For the most part, it'll be fine regardless. Oh, okay. I wish Target had that process. That would have been so helpful for me. Because I would have got it earlier. But life is an enigma. We all have to suffer one way or another. But we don't cry about it. We don't whine about spilt milk. We just clean it up and keep moving forward. And then we find out we're lactose intolerant and go, oh, that was the problem the whole time. Fuck me. Fuck me. On a side note, my anime watching has been really trash. But I have been trying to go back into JoJo Part 6. So I started watching that again. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is wild. Sorry, I'm on Anime News Network looking at stuff, and apparently there was a bootleg One Piece AI looking game pulled from the Nintendo store in Japan. Because it does look like One Piece. I think that's like Nami's tattoo on a character, rocking the Luffy X on his chest with Ace's Jolly Roger on the God. This is like, that's AI hell is what that is. It's like someone took a bunch of AI One Piece characters and said, make something out of this. Did anyone watch the Anime Awards? Because, bro, I did not care. You're asking too many questions, Tyrone. Let me just be real with you. You're asking too many fucking questions. But yeah, I've been trying to get back into watching JoJo. I only watched the first 13 episodes, and I've watched episodes 14 and 15 in the last week or so. I'm trying to get back into watching that more consistently because I genuinely believe I need to, rekindle my anime watching. To give some context, the only other anime I've been watching is occasionally watching One Piece with Nessa and then FMA Brotherhood with KG, both of which are their first times watching those series. How is your gacha luck going? The only gacha game I kind of play is Pokemon TCG. And no, yeah, the Anime words I didn't. What is that, Goki? Why did you spell it like that? I need explanations. I just need to get into stuff. I feel like my anime watching is severely dropped because I just haven't been interested in a lot of new stuff that's coming out. Not saying that it's bad. I'm not as invested. But it's also because I think the landscape of anime in general has just kind of changed. On top of me as a person changed. Like a lot of the stuff I didn't know about their manga or their light novel or like their previous content before. So as a result, since I didn't know, everything felt new and fresh to me. Now everything that comes out, I'm like, oh, I read the manga. I watched the anime's first season. I've heard of the light novel. KG showed me a picture of the fucking manhwa. That's what happens. I was too busy watching the new Gundam and Code Geass for the first time. Upload those One Piece / FMA Brotherhood reactions. I think KG probably has reactions for Brotherhood. I know there's no reactions for One Piece. But if you want to hear Nessa's thoughts on that, I do have that stream up where we talked about her One Piece first experiences. So there is documentation up for that one. So don't worry, guys. If you want some, you can get some. I do need to find another IP of games to get into. I guess eventually we're gonna have to go back to Yakuza at some point. I'm gonna have to stop playing games. Yeah, I'm really. I don't have anything overly interested in My Dress Up Darling. I do want to talk more about the anime industry. I will say that. That has been kind of like a slow burn interest for me. As much as I casually talk about it now, I need people to understand that Aniplex is fucking dog shit. Like I say it a lot and people don't understand me because some people just don't care. But like, man, Aniplex is fucking dog shit. I hate it. Oh, someone had the nerve to call their shit anime. Fuck you, Crunchy. Is there even any? Let me see. Not new arrivals. I need not series. I need product type. I need Blu-rays and DVDs. I just want to see. Yeah, there's one Blu-ray. What is this? Oh, see, man. I needed something coming soon. Yeah, new pre-orders. I try to watch one or two new stuff, but then watch old stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just getting to that age where I'm just more interested in watching old stuff. So I'm looking at the pre-orders list, and I'm gonna just go exclusively through Blu-rays and DVDs of stuff. Let's see. Blu-ray. There's only 24 Blu-rays on pre-order. That's crazy. Let me see. Is that it? They have DVD in here too? Yeah, let me get DVD. All right, so we got Gundam, X-Arm, Vampire Hunter D, which is crazy because that's old. Cyber Hunter Angel Dust movie, that's old. Well, it's an old series. I don't know if that particular thing is old, though. Made in Abyss, old. Queen's Blade, old. Deer's S, old. How I Attended an All Guys Mixer. That's a Sentai release if I ever saw one. Raycon. Vivid Strike, Kokoro Connect, a bunch of Japanese live action stuff. Osamatsu Sun-san, the original 1988 series. Another One Piece collection now that they're Blu-ray and DVD, which is weird to acknowledge. Let's see, Concierge, the One Piece Voyages, which I'm surprised they're still selling them. That's the only new pre-orders we have. What the fuck? We don't have any more pre-orders than that? Jesus Christ. I'm still waiting for the Magi collection. I'm still waiting for the Magi manga to show back up. Shit sucks, bro. Look, it's One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, Dangers in My Heart, Hunter x Hunter. Oh, they're releasing 3-in-1s for Hunter x Hunter? I'd be excited if I thought that manga would finish anytime soon. That's not fucking happening. A bunch of Funko Pops, bro. People spending money for Funko Pops just bum me out. It's like the least quality figure you can have. Tokyo Ghoul manga collection. Some lower tier stuff. Paranoia Agent, which I already have that. I bought that already. That is a great series. I absolutely needed a review, but it requires me rewatching it. I definitely am probably gonna rewatch that. I might rewatch that online. I might on stream, not stream, but on the server. I don't know. Paranoia Agent is so good. I've seen the first season of Dangers in My Heart. I started the second season, but I didn't get as far as I wanted to. I only got like the first few episodes. But I've seen the first season of Dangers. I like the first season of Dangers in My Heart. I haven't seen the second season though yet. My like I said, my anime watching has been severely off and it bums me out. So JoJo Part 6 will hopefully be the beginning of me getting back into watching anime more consistently. I think I'm just gonna have to rotate older stuff into my newer stuff. And I think that might help me like engage with it better. But that's me personally. Let's see. What is this? A lot of manga. Manga will always be a terrifying investment, considering, you don't know if the shows are going to get continued or canceled, if you're going to like them by the end of them or not. So I've had to be a lot more picky. But I'm still mad because I can't get all my Magi volumes because they won't restock them. And I'm angry because there's a request for me to get some more and they won't let me buy anymore. I haven't even finished Masamu Sume's manga or iShield 21's. I don't even know what to do with iShield 21. I'll be real with you guys. I hate that I have the first 23 volumes. I need 14 more and they're all expensive as fuck. I think I'm gonna have to do the investment that I'm afraid to do, which is buy them individually slowly. Because I don't like not having a full collection. Now, if I hated the series, it'd be different, but I don't. I like iShield a lot. Quality. So I gotta figure out what I want to do. Hey, the older I get, the more picky I have to get about things, but I think that's required because your taste develops and that's what happens. You don't just watch and read everything all the fucking time because you're an adult. You figure out this is what you like in your stories. This is what you like in your characters. This is what you like in your plot. This is what you like in your setting. This is what you like in your world. What you like in your lore. Once you get all those things locked in, that means that once you watch a show, they're hitting all this criteria in the beginning. You're like, ding, it didn't like that. Ding, they didn't like that either. Ding, all right, 5 strikes, that's it. You gotta go turn around. You gotta go grab something else. Okay, let's try it again. Ooh, I like the characters. I like the world, I like the story, I like the plot. I like the setting, I like the lore. Are we in? I think we're, woo! We're in, baby. Because my judging saved me from watching trash. 2025 and still trying to sustain the industry. So inspirational. Fuck you, studio. Fuck you. Stop getting at me like this, man. You know I'm sensitive. Real talk, studio. Why you say talk? That is not talk. I hate that I read it as talk when I know what that is. It's that Haktua crap. Stop spelling talk wrong. We are in America. We use English and we spell properly. We are not barbarians. Actually, we might be barbarians. I'm lying. I mean, I'm insane, so that's about the same stuff, right? That's the same general idea. Although I will say this will give me time to buy a Switch 2. If I do not get it launch day, I'm definitely going to go buy a protective screen because I don't have one because I didn't think about it until now. So this will give me time to buy the accessory stuff. The only 2 things I want is the protective screen and the maybe a carrying case. That'd probably be the only other thing. But the carrying case is not a high priority right now. Let's see. Look at all this BS manga on here, bro. I guess I'll ask one more question before we get out of here because we are like wrapping into 2 hours and I'm getting to that point where I'm going to start rambling and saying a bunch of bullshit. Oh, nice. They start releasing Still Ball Run in English. Let's go. I'm going to ask one last question. What is a manga series that you would like to own its entirety of? I'm going to keep it just simple like that. What is a manga series you would like to own that the entirety of? Bought a screen protector back in April. Still looking for an ad and an SD Express card. Real talk comes from Real Rings of Redemption. I thought that was look here. Look, listen. Switch to offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving advice that you know nothing about. I really want to make this money, man. I really want to get this surgery, man. I want it so fucking bad. Yeah. Oh, my heart. That whimpered dog noise is like one of my favorite things, bro. I want it so fucking bad. Oh, I'm gonna stop. Let me chill out. Listen. I appreciate the 15 of you going in somewhere range of 10 to 20 of you guys who've been hanging out with me. Dog, I want Shaman King too, dog. I love every volume of Senna. Senna? Senna. What the hell is Senna? I don't know what Senna is. What is Senna? I don't know what Senna is. Studio, tell me what Senna is before I get out of here, because it is time to go. We're 2 hours. We gotta go. Actually, I wouldn't mind owning the entire Zatch Bell manga series too. That one I definitely want to own. I definitely want to own Zatch Bell. Zatch Bell would have been so cool to own. Oh, Frankenfran. I know about Frankenfran. It's a fucking horrifying, a horrifying manga, but it is something. But yeah, let me see. Also, everybody go get the Stellar Blade demo. Everybody go play the Stellar Blade demo. If you ever played Stellar Blade, you should play it. It's fun. I like Stellar Blade a lot. It's gonna be buyable in June 11th, but y'all should get that. Well, what the fuck, Studio? Make the manga awesome. My chat died, so I guess it's time for me to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely time for me to get out of here. So, just to give you guys context, thank you for the support, guys. I literally have ranged around almost 20 viewers tonight, and I'm very appreciative of it, guys. Like, you ain't gotta do all this, bro. Oh, let me chill out. Chill out. But yeah, thank you guys for the support. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Did you like the lo-fi in the background? Was it too loud, too low? No one complained about the lo-fi once it came on, so I'm assuming it's fine. But please give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Tomorrow we will be doing more Stellar Blade. I mean, not Stellar Blade. Fucking Expedition 33. I did a little off-screen stuff, but nothing like plot-wise, so we should be fine on that. So more Act 2 of Expedition 33. We'll see how it goes when it comes to Switch 2 next week. It is what it is. Don't let the stuff stress you out. And remember, life is a game. Play to win. And I will catch you all later. Fuck. Peace out. Night, y'all. Rescue squad, Cope. Bro, how is this your first chat message? Damn it. I'll see y'all later, bro. Peace out, yo. I'll see y'all tomorrow. No, sorry. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.